Our next guest is the executive director of a nonprofit out of Rochester that is inspiring the creation, experience with, and appreciation of the arts right here in Oakland County. Shaun Hayes is with the Paint Creek Center for the Arts and joins us now on the Oakland County Megacast. Shaun, thanks for joining us.
Tyler, thank you for having me today.
Appreciate having you on. So first off, tell us about both the scope and the history of your organization and how it serves the community here in Oakland County.
Yes, absolutely. So Paint Creek Center for the Arts, our mission here is to celebrate and support creativity within our community. We do that through a variety of different ways. We help people to learn, to create, and to appreciate art in a lot of different forms. We've been around since 1982. So we offer classes, we offer galleries, exhibitions. We have an art market where local artists can sell their work. And then we do a lot of other events that people in Rochester know us for.
And then, so you're new in this role currently that you're in. What is your background? What drew you to become the executive director of this organization and lead them in the great work that they're doing out of Rochester?
Yes, so I've been with Paint Creek as the executive director just since February this year, actually. Prior to that, I was the executive director of the Clarkston Chamber of Commerce for 3 years. So just kind of wanted to stay within the nonprofit world, nonprofit leadership in general. And I had done some other, large public events, large public gatherings and whatnot. So just wanted to stay within that space.
And so how is your history working with the Clarkston Chamber of Commerce and communicating with the community through that organization, inspiring interaction with those businesses? How has that helped you in your work with this organization, getting the word out about Paint Creek to the community, but also getting the community involved with Paint Creek Center for the Arts?
Honestly, it was just a really better understanding of kind of why these events are so important, why they kind of bring the communities together and what people really know the community for. When I got here to Rochester, I joined a lot of the, Facebook groups, a lot of the different social media activity. And I noticed a lot of people, the thing they know and love in Rochester every year is the Art and Apples Festival, which I know we'll talk about in a little bit. But, it's just something that people come to know and appreciate. And, it's something we want to help to make better for the community every year.
We're joined by Shaun Hayes. He's the executive director of the Paint Creek Center for the Arts and joins us on the Oakland County Megacast. Shaun, in terms of what is offered by the Paint Creek Center for the Arts, what are some of those programs or resources that are offered through the organization? How do those help to achieve the mission of this organization, particularly here in Oakland County?
Yeah, so through our mission, I think one thing where people really take advantage of it the most is the classes that we offer. We have a very strong art education program from kids anywhere as young as 3 years old all the way up to, we have people in their 70s and 80s taking classes with us. And we cover all types of mediums. So photography, painting, whether it's watercolor, oil-based paints, acrylics. We have drawing classes, charcoal, and then we have things like mixed media as well. Clay and pottery, those are also, ceramics classes are very popular right now. So a lot of different opportunities for people to get involved, whether you want to do a 9-week long work class or just a 1-day workshop type thing. There's a lot of variety and all skill levels are covered too.
And so for more information, you can go to pccart.org. That is the website for the Paint Creek Center for the Arts, pccart.org for more information. Shaun Hayes joins us on the Megacast. He is the executive director of the Paint Creek Center for the Arts and joins us on this edition of the program. So you mentioned earlier the Art and Apples Festival. That's going to be happening this year, September 9th through September 11th. Tell me about the festival, how people can participate, and what they can expect to experience at this festival.
Yes, so I'm very excited to be a part of this event this year. The event has been around for 56 years now, even longer than Paint Creek Center for the Arts has existed. And it's just, like I said, something that the Rochester community and the Southeast Michigan community in general really looks forward to, I would say. We have artists, we have entertainers, we have food, and there's a lot of different opportunities to get involved, whether you want to volunteer and help out with the event, whether you are looking for a sponsorship opportunity to exhibit your business, or to just show up and have a good time as well. All opportunities for everybody.
How important is it to have something like this in terms of outreach for a nonprofit like yours, and especially in times like this when COVID-19 has had such a major impact, especially financially on everybody, but really on these nonprofits as people were cutting back their spending, and oftentimes that meant fewer donations and less time spent with these nonprofit organizations?
It's a good question. Yeah, I've really been in touch with a lot of different, public events and festivals and everything over the last couple of years, and no organization was exempt from it. We all definitely saw some drop-offs in participation and everything, whether people just had a different marketing budget or maybe they didn't have the staffing to come out and support a festival for 3 days in a row. But I'm definitely seeing a little bit of a return to that from a lot of these types of organizations, that they really miss being part of it. They miss being part of the community and getting to see new faces. And, this is just a great opportunity to come out again.
We're joined by Shaun Hayes. He's the executive director of the Paint Creek Center for the Arts, joining us on the Oakland County Megacast. More information on this Rochester-based nonprofit can be found on pccart.org. That's pccart.org. For more information on the organization, including all their programs and different programs that you can get involved with. And why is it important in the Rochester community, in northern Oakland County, and really across the board in Oakland County through your organization and others, to support the arts and to even beyond supporting the arts, to promote the arts in these communities? Why is it so important to Rochester?
Art's just important because it gives people really a creative outlet to just, a lot more self-expression and everything. And I really think I've noticed it a lot in this community, that there are a lot of different art resources, a lot of different businesses, galleries and everything, not just Rochester, but Oakland County in general. And I think really being a resource for us to kind of celebrate and support that a little bit, just it's good for the community overall.
You've been there for 4 months. You began as the executive director in the month of February. In that time, what sort of impact have you seen this organization have on people in the community, both those that are art lovers that just want an outlet to express their art, or for those that are interested in learning some of the arts? What sort of impact have you seen Paint Creek Center for the Arts have on the community in Rochester and in greater Oakland County?
I think these first few months I've just seen really a nice return to normal. We started getting back to our in-person classes, sometime last summer and everything, but we weren't really at full capacity until probably maybe a couple months before I came on board. So right at the end of 2021, start of 2022. And just seeing the classes be back at full capacity and people being able to enjoy themselves. And it's not just the art, but also some of the social interaction and everything that they get to see. So also right now going on is our summer camps, which provide a lot of different activities for kids to, have a week that they get to be with, 20 of their friends and just hang out, learn some new art skills. And again, just have that social interaction, and being back at full capacity again, it's just fantastic to see.
You can talk a little bit or elaborate a little bit on some of the impact that the pandemic did have on this organization. And with you coming in February, really on at least the beginning of the back end of that impact, or really the recovery from that impact, what sort of impact did the pandemic have on the Paint Creek Center for the Arts, and how has the organization bounced back?
It definitely, every organization felt it, every nonprofit especially. And, we definitely saw a reduction in the classes that we were offering. We had to shut down classes altogether for a little bit. We weren't able to do as many in-person exhibitions as we typically do throughout the year. So definitely a lot of things that we had to hold back on. And like I said, just this, being able to return to normal, even with the Art and Apples Festival, we had to cancel it altogether in 2020. We were able to bring it back in 2021, but it was still, we had a lot more distancing requirements and everything. We weren't able to bring in as many vendors. The other thing really with this festival too is we received applications from nearly 300 artists this year, and they came from, I think I saw about 26 different states listed as far as where applications were coming from. So there were a lot more people who were maybe a little bit apprehensive about travel and things like that. So I think we're seeing, a bit of a return to normal with that aspect too.
We're joined by Shaun Hayes. He's the executive director of the Paint Creek Center for the Arts and joins us on the Oakland County Megacast. More information can be found on the Paint Creek Center for the Arts by visiting their website at pccart.org. That's pccart.org. For more information, including on all their programs, you can also call them at 248-651-4110. That's 248-651-4110. Their hours throughout the summer: Mondays 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Tuesday through Thursday 9 a.m. until 6:30 p.m. They're closed Friday through Sunday, but Monday through Thursday you can stop by their location. Paint Creek is located at 407 Pine Street in Rochester, Michigan. Again, more information on all of that can be found on their website, pccart.org. And you mentioned the interest in the Arts and Apples Festival that's being held with your organization September 9th through September 11th of this year. This is an award-winning festival. Can you talk about some of the awards that have been won by Arts and Apples, and really what's the reason why so many people, you said over 300, want to participate in this festival?
Yeah, absolutely. So the award that we're the most proud of that we've received is from Sunshine Artist Magazine, which is nationally recognized, and they have all different types of categories, whether craft shows or fine art fairs. We are a juried fine art fair, so we do kind of dictate. We have an anonymous jury that kind of comes in for each category and says, is this up to par with our standards for what we want to see at this type of festival? So we are, like I said, juried fine art festival, and we have commonly been ranked by Sunshine Artist Magazine among their top 10 fine art festivals in the entire nation. So we've made the top 10 list a couple times. In 2020, they did not, or 2021, excuse me, they did not do a list because there were not many of these festivals taking place in 2020, but they did a decade list, and we were ranked 9th over the past decade, 2010 to 2020. So again, just great recognition. I think it's because number one, we've got so many people, we bring high quality artists. And also, being in Oakland County and everything, we've got a lot of people who are art enthusiasts and want to spend a lot of money. These artists get a lot of attention, whether it's from buying their work on site or people wanting to commission them for their own personal work later on.
You mentioned earlier that your organization holds exhibitions throughout the year as well, on top of just the Arts and Apples Festival. So there's plenty of opportunity for people to show off their art, maybe even sell their art if they'd like to turn art into a career, or they are professional artists located in the local area. How can people participate in those exhibitions, as well as inquire about participating in Arts and Apples if they'd like to in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. So really the best way is to just stay involved with us, get on our email list and everything. You mentioned our website, pccart.org. We've got some people on staff here who do a lot of review of what type of work we feature in our exhibitions and our art market and everything. There's usually a theme to the exhibitions. One right now is it is a retrospective of Tim Tenbush. He's a former student here who actually passed away last year. And we're highlighting some of his work over a number of years. He's been doing this for decades. So highlighting some of his work. We've got other shows later in the year that are going to be focused on our students, our members, our faculty. So again, just to stay involved with us and let us get familiar with your work, and we can always highlight it throughout the year. We've got a couple others coming up. We're working on one right now that we're going to host at the Strand Theater in Pontiac later this summer.
Shaun, just another couple minutes before we'll say goodbye today. Anything else that we haven't discussed about the Paint Creek Center for the Arts, or other programs or events coming up that people should be keeping an eye out for?
Like I said, some of our other exhibitions to keep an eye out for. If none of this fits into your calendar, we always have the art market. Like I mentioned, a lot of handmade items from local artists that, anytime you want to purchase something, whether you need a gift or something for yourself, or you just want to, check out some new artwork, it's always worth stopping by for that. And I would just mention too, some of our sponsorship opportunities. The Art and Apples Festival is sponsored by Genesis Credit Union, among many other companies. And we're always looking for more people who, if you want to be on site, we get probably around 80,000 people in attendance over these 3 days of the Art and Apples Festival. So it's always a good way to get your business in front of an audience.
Shaun, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much for telling us about everything happening at the Paint Creek Center for the Arts.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, Tyler.